Fuck, we back. We are back. Yeah, we got a few people in here. Fuck. It's been a while, boys. We got the wine poured. Of course, for Bo. Cheers, my bro. Sports are back. What up, Derek? Yeah, man. Had a pretty good night tonight. Yeah, it was pretty good. Um, thought it was there's my boy Brad. Yeah, I thought it was a kind of rough kind of betting card, just a lot of 50-50 fights. But yeah, I guess I made a lot of the right decisions, and my pitcher looks worse than normal. My good fucking computer finally died. So I am on my shit laptop now. But yeah, man, Burns look good, dude. I'm completely convinced that guy is a title contender, man. I'm completely convinced. I always like Burns, but um, there's just a couple of guys that are like that high level of BJJ that have transformed their striking and hands to that level. The one that sticks out to me the most is Pedro Munoz. Like that guy's become just an insanely good kickboxer, but even he doesn't have the BJJ credentials and even the wrestling part of his game that can get guys to the mat like Burns does. Um, Chucky Olives, Dobronx. I mean, that guy's hands have become very good too, but Burns has turned into just an insanely complete fighter, and I'm just absolutely blown away by what I saw tonight. And I bet Burns, pretty big, but a lot of that had to do with I think Woodley's 38 now. He's fallen off. He hasn't fought in over a year. I think he's getting towards the end a little bit. The style matchup, Woodley just doesn't do enough, but that's still impressive. Woodley held the fucking welterweight title, man, and he just got shut out by Gilbert Burns. That's an impressive win. However, whatever caveats you want to put into it, that's an impressive win tonight for Gilbert Burns. And I mean, isn't Gilbert Burns a better kickboxer than Kamaru Usman? Isn't Gilbert Burns a better kickboxer than Kobe Covington? Yes. Yeah. He absolutely is. Now, I'm not saying that he beats those guys necessarily, but can he? Absolutely. He could beat those guys. He's in that conversation now. That guy's fucking good, man. Um, I love an active fighter. It being an active fighter pays off now. I mean, you have to be in there and be active. Um, not taking dumb fights, don't take fucking 10-day notice fights, but just stay active, fight every month, fight every 6 weeks. Burns is doing that, man. But it's paying off big time. Um, and the fucking guy did his training camp in his garage this time. Like, if you don't know how good the Glover is, like the garage training is where it's fucking at. Let's see. Look, I mean, cause Usman problems with his jujitsu. I mean, probably not, but it's more about, does Usman want to be there with him? None of those guys want to be there with him. None of them. And it ain't about him even getting subs or anything. It's about that he could put him in those positions to reverse and scramble and stuff to where I don't see Usman or Covington laying on top of him and just doing what they do. I don't see that against Burns. I think Burns is good enough to scramble, and his subs are dangerous enough. Just his attempts are dangerous enough to get guys to move and scramble to where he's not just sitting on his back eating blows. So I think he's a problem, personally. Brad, I am pretty sure that Woodley did not set the significant strikes record tonight. I do know that somebody sold a pick with the shitty Shevchenko as a money line piece of a parlay. So let's see. Woodley versus Covington next. No, Woodley doesn't deserve Covington at this point. Burns versus Covington next. That I'm down for. Absolutely. Yeah, Woodley losing 10 rounds straight now. I mean, I get it against Usman. I really do. I get it, but to lose 5 rounds to Burns, guys just thought he's on the back end, man. It ain't like that guy was ever like, he's been in a lot of trouble at times. He's lost fights. I don't know. He had a good right hand for a while, decent wrestling and a good right hand. I mean, even over the past few years, the guy would just back against the cage and do absolutely nothing. Land a big right hand. He always had that chance, but yeah, Brad's right, man. Like Burns cardio tonight. Watch that fight again. Watch like the stuff he did in that fight. It was like high pace wrestling, grappling, throwing lots of a big volume of strikes. That gas tank was impressive tonight, man. I'm so impressed with Burns tonight. I'm convinced that the guy's a contender now. And I don't know if I would have said that coming in tonight. I like thought he was right there, but I'm convinced he could beat any of those guys. I really think that. I really think he could. Usman versus Mazda, Burns versus. I mean, I don't know. I don't like hate Leon Edwards as much as most. I think Leon Edwards is a pretty good fighter now, but man, my God, nobody knows that guy. Nobody fucking knows who Leon Edwards is. They don't know him. And I'm not sure Leon Edwards deserves to be getting just huge fights. It deserves it probably, but we'll see. Shut up, Brad. Blago wasn't robbed. That 30-27 might have been the worst thing we saw all night. You fucking know that. That 30-27 scorecard was the worst thing we saw all night. Burns just demolished the number one ranked red weight. Yeah, I agree. I think Burns is really he's gonna get probably somewhat of a title eliminator next fight. I think he fights one of those top four guys or whatever and gets right there for sure. All right. Um, so did anybody crush this card tonight pretty good? Fucking Spike. Look, fuck Spike. Fuck that. Look, that might be a ginger with a half a soul though. Like there he is. There's my boy Dane Tom in here. Really good to see you, brother. I thought this card turned out really fucking good, man. Going in, I was a little worried. Yeah, our boy Billy Quarantine, man. Billy Quarantine and the new garage weight apprentice, fucking Gilbert Burns. Um, very nice. Um, Billy Quarantine, man, that Spike fight, that Ginger, man, I gotta give it to that cat though. I really do. Um, he stayed in that fight, man. He really did. Um, our boy Billy Quarantine though, man, that's a tough cat, man. That's a really tough cat. I was telling Brad, me and Brad was zooming tonight for the main card, and I mean, we really thought that Billy Quarantine should have probably got a 10-8 third, and under Pride rules he like wins hands down easily, but man, Spike's a tough fucking guy. I'll give it to him. I was worried going into like that third round. I was worried. Um, hell of a good fight though. Like it added to the card. I thought the card was really good tonight. A lot of people was shitting on the card tonight, but it turned out to be great. Now, I mean, I don't think it's any big surprise, but the small cage had a ton to do with tonight. It had a ton to do with it. Um, you couldn't really run. You couldn't circle much. You couldn't get out. It forced guys to engage tonight, and it was great. I thought the card came off really fucking well. Yeah, Spike was better. We all thought like me and Brad's talking to like we knew he was gonna be tough and was gonna be explosive early and stuff. But we're going into the third, and me and Brad's like, we're really worried. We're like, man, this fucking guy's not slowing down. Finally, he hit a wall. Like it was maybe a couple minutes into the third, and uh he hit a bad wall. I'm not sure he landed a punch in the third round. He almost just looked like a drunk guy trying to hang on to his buddy and get down the street. It got pretty ugly in the third, but um, I thought Billy Quarantine was the right side there. Was a good bet. There was a few really good bets on this card. I thought as far as the line, Billy Q. I thought our fucking chick Mook again. Her at dog money against Shevchenko was absolutely fucking insane. Like I'm not big on betting chick fights outside of Nunez and the upper echelon, but her at like plus 145 or something like that against the shitty Shevchenko was absolutely dumb. That was really stupid. And then my other fave bet of the night was Hill. Um, Hill hit around even money was really bad too, I thought, but I hammered those three bets tonight. And had a really good night with Burns too. Burns was really nice. Oh man, me and Brad again, my dude Brad. I'm talking. We had the over in the Dern fight, and once that initial kind of engagement happened in the first minute or so, I was like, okay, this is gonna kind of get sloppy, and they're not gonna do a whole lot of nothing. And man, when that takedown happened, and she didn't just completely back up and just stand back up, I knew right then and there it was done. And that's one of the dumbest things you'll ever, I mean, it's not, hyperbole. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen. Like, seriously, that Dern's, that's what she does. And she literally would not disengage and stand up. I, I knew my money was dead right then and there. I knew it was dead. What 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 I laughed at harder, and I will continue doing till the end of time, is Dern's fucking made up Brazilian accent after the fights. That shit's hilarious. I will laugh about that shit forever. Like that will never not be funny. Dern coming up, like, she literally has a Brazilian accent now. It's awesome. She's from fucking California, I believe. Sum up Smoka in 5 words or less. Um, I will not bet Smoka anymore. Give me six. I will not bet Smoka anymore. I mean, fuck, dude. Like, I don't know. Can we just say that Kenny might be pretty good? Like, I think he's pretty good. Smoke is one of those guys that's always going to find a way to lose. It's sad. I like Smoker, man. He's been a friend of the MMA analysis. Guys even played in our tout master and shit. You know, our pick'em game and stuff. He's a really good, cool guy, man. Really good guy. But I just he's one of those guys that's always just going to find a way to lose, man. Every single time. I hate to see it because he's a really good dude, but he will always find a way to lose. more of a chance happening. Darren wins title or my point of view bid. I might pass on that one. I might pass on that one. Um, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. I'd pay $10. I'd pay $10. I'll leave it at that. Um, hey, Ben can feel himself tonight. You know why? You know why Ben can feel himself tonight? Because I was pretty much on everything Ben was on before I knew Ben was on it, and I think everybody but I got 10 people in here right now. I think all 10 people in here right now um, knows the feeling of having a bet in and then seeing Ben's feed and that sickening feeling that comes over you like, oh my God, that's dead. I'm happy Ben did well tonight. I'll leave it at that. Very fucking happy Ben did well tonight. All right. Let me try to dive into the card a little bit, man. I'll go over. We can bullshit a little bit about each fight real quick. I'm kind of sad that I'm gonna start reading off some good like prop hits on these first few fights that my dude Brad didn't have, and he's fucking slipping. He knows he is. He should have had most of these props that cashed early. Let's see. You are fucking awful, bro. You should have had like most of these. Can I summarize Mackenzie turns booty in 5 words? Mama thick, mama thick, thick. Fucking Brad. Yeah, so first fight, I believe this fight was around a pick'em or so. Gutierrez was favored slightly. Definitely the HICC for sure. Yeah, Gutierrez is really improved, man. I think that guy's got some pretty good potential. I don't want to say he's going to be fucking top 15, top 10 or anything, but he's got a chance. He's really improved. He was coming off a fucking complete ACL surgery and shit. So that was pretty good. Pretty good performance there. And that was a fight Gutierrez by TKO, I believe was like plus 1050 or something like that. Let me check that again. Yeah, Gutierrez by TKO was plus 1050, and it was leg kicks TKO or leg kicks TKO. That's uh, there's not many leg kick TKOs in the UFC. Like, there's not many of them. They said the number tonight, it's single digits. It's like not many of them. And Gutierrez got a leg kick TKO tonight at fucking over 10-1. So that's pretty crazy. Cyphers didn't do Ozark chick steroids. Oh man, my boy Steve's pretty good, man. That guy makes me laugh. Makes me laugh like no other. It's that good kind of a little intellectual English humor that that gets me. Yeah, so Gutierrez, good win for him. We talked a little bit about Casey Kinney and Smoka. Smoka just guy finds a way to lose, man. It's pretty fucking sad. Like the guy. The next Brandon Royval against Tim Elliott, man. Like what a fun fight. Just I love scrambling fights like that. I'm an old school guy, old Japanese MMA guy and stuff. So I appreciate that groundwork, that scrambling work, more than most newer fans. And it was just something to watch. That's so great. Tim Elliott just knows how to put on a fight, but that's his gift and his curse, man. The guy is so wild, so fun. Um, I'm not sure there's many guys that have like the takedown, the wrestling offense, the takedowns that Tim Elliott has. Like he can get anybody down, anybody can't hold him there. He cannot. He's just he doesn't know the meaning of fucking position, fucking scrambling, and that cost him. It cost the guy. It makes for great fights, but he got raw dog. He got raw dog tonight, and I'm intrigued by the raw dog. I think that kid is pretty good. I want to see more of the raw dog. The only question is, why should the raw dog have to wear gloves in a fight? Should a guy named the raw dog have to wear gloves in a fight? Kind of fucked up. It's actually kind of fucked up. Um, yeah, our boy, our boy Jamal Hill, man. That was impressive, man. Look, I love Jamal Hill tonight. That was my number one bet on the board. Not that I think the guy's great or anything. Like I said, I thought this was a fairly tough betting card and nothing that I was ready to go crazy on. But um, I just think Hill's got the not the per se physical attributes because he is a little pudgy and shit. The guy needs to get into better shape, but just the length, man, and he knows how to use that length. And he absolutely pieced Abreu up. I saw somebody's breakdown saying that uh, Abreu was going to take this down, and Abreu's a ground fighter and shit. And I kind of laughed. Abreu is a kickboxer. The dude's a Brazilian that has a black belt that doesn't use it. He's a kickboxer, and he got destroyed by Hill, and that was probably my favorite bet tonight, and it cashed. So top hog of the card. I mean, Gilbert Burns has got to be packing a piece now, right? I mean, just tonight beating Woodley, his like shit had to Optimus Prime a little bit and go, you know, the tip had to go full Optimus Prime and just grow out 3 inches tonight. What a performance by Burns. I'm still not over that. I'm all in on some Burns now. I'm fucking all in. Did anybody else have like any big bets on this card? Like anything that you really liked that didn't cash or cashed either way? Like I said, I really liked Hill tonight. I thought on a really tight betting card that um, he really stuck out to me. Tim doesn't care much. He just fights. Tim. Oh, Elliott. Yeah, yeah. No, the guy, Tim Elliott's really, really talented. I think his like entries, his wrestling entries into his takedowns, the speed and the power on his takedowns are fucking insane. They're so good. Past that, I don't. I'm not sure it's even just that he can't control guys and stay on top. I just think he wants to be that guy, always going for something, always scrambling for some kind of sub. I mean, how many times in that fight did he have his legs wrapped around fucking old boy's head and shit? He's wild, man. He's way too wild to win consistently. Always going to be fun, but way too wild to have any sort of consistency. And I mean, when you're betting fights, that's one of the first things you look for, right? Is some sort of consistency in a guy, and that is not Tim Elliott whatsoever. Always going to be fun. Like I'll watch that guy fight every single time, but I think Elliott's going to be at the point to where you want some plus money on that guy now if you're going to bet him. Burns piece is a baby's arm with a boxing glove. Yeah, that's fucking excellent. That is on point, Steve. That is that is absolutely on point. Um, yeah, on to Rodriguez. Yeah, Brad, yeah, it's absolutely right. That Rodriguez fight was, man. You want to talk about a stand up fucking fight, and it wasn't like slop. That was the furthest thing from like slop. That was a fucking technical stand up fight against two really good dudes. I want to see Green again. I mean, that guy's chin is fucking insane. Um, but the counter striking and like I don't know the movement and how Rodriguez would move back and cut off and move to the side and stuff and land his jab and hooks off of the counter was a masterpiece. Like if you watch that fight back, his counter striking was as good as it gets in that fight. Green was pretty much coming forward for like 90% of that fight. You got to I give him props. He was absolutely walking towards Rodriguez every second of that fight and got fucked up and got pieced up bad. That counter striking, the just how Rodriguez's footwork moved when he was going backwards and stepping off left and right and throwing that jab, throwing that hook was beautiful stuff. Some of the best counter striking that I've seen in a little bit. It was beautiful, man. Rodriguez is, I don't know, he completely unknown still. I don't think anybody has any idea about Rodriguez. Think he might be decent. Got to see him a couple more times, but I think he's pretty decent. Yeah, Brad, my boy Steve, cool people, man. He should have more followers than he does. Follow my boy Steve. Good people. Yeah, Derek, you're right, man. I thought Green showed real well, man. Just never out of it. I mean, he was never out of it. The guy kept coming forward, and I respect that. You know, usually in me still, I'm old school, so close fights, I would score for a guy like Green, like a guy going forward, pressuring, putting the fight on. I usually score close shit for them, but it wasn't close. Um, like I said, the counter striking was a thing of beauty, man. Uh, Talked a little about the Mook again. Bad line, bad line. I mean, that's about all there is to say. And that's not hindsight. That's not saying shit afterwards. I thought that was just a really bad line going in. The second of my three really big bets tonight. Yeah, that was crazy. Just an absolute mauling. Pretty savage that Mook again gets absolutely mauled by the good Shevchenko. and it's like, fuck it, let me fight your sister and beat the shit out of her so I can get a little dignity back. But um, yeah, in the context of women's MMA, like Mook again is a pretty steady fighter. She's almost a fighter, like I said, to that extent in women's MMA that at that level that you almost you want your money on. That was a good performance tonight. Easy dog cash. Uh, Talked a little bit about Dern. I think Brad said something when we was zooming about Dern that like she's got a lot of potential, but she has to get it to where she can be getting her takedowns, and it's not people are getting her down, and she's got to catch some sub like that because once it hits the mat, man, she's ridiculous. Like she's absolutely otherworldly with her jujitsu, but she's she's got to have that dictated by somebody getting her to the mat. Usually, if she gets that offensive wrestling game up a little bit, she can be scary, man. Her hands are still they're what they are. I mean, I'm not sure how good they're gonna get. She still throws with just dumb, like throwing dumb power shots, whiffing on them. But as far as jujitsu is there, I'm not sure there's a better jujitsu player in women's MMA, but it's sketchy till it hits the mat. And Cyphers, look, she don't look bright. She ain't bright. That was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen. You got to stand up there. You have to back up and stand up there. She was winning the stand up fight. Easy, I mean, winning it fairly easily. Uh, Thought Green show well. Yep. Garage Gill hit him with it. Yeah, he did, man. What's more impressive, Choop getting takedowns or her not finishing from? Look, like Mook again not finishing that fight when she had those fucking rear nakeds like sunk in deep. That's bad. Like that's really bad. But I think she was like 1 for 16 on takedowns going into that fight. 1 for 16. Getting takedowns in that fight was, your takedown defense is absolute shit when a 1 for 16 person is getting in and getting multiple takedowns with ease on you. That's bad. Yeah, I know it's fucking Doc, man. Chad Dawkins. Um, Look, man, we can talk about that real quick. Look, I am a massive Aljo fan. Um, I think Aljo is the uncrowned champ in this division, and I like fucking Jan. I watched Jan before most of you motherfuckers, before most of all these motherfuckers. I was watching Jan in Russia. I love that guy. He is unfucking believable. Um, I love Sandhagen. I think Sandhagen is a fucking up and coming great fighter. Aljo's just a problem for guys. Like if watch his fights, that guy's a matchup nightmare for everybody in that division, and in a division of guys that are going to be in like really close competitive fights that are probably always going to go to the scorecards. Man, give me the guy that's going to probably land 50 leg kicks in a fight. That's going to pump that jab that's got going to have 10, 15 pounds on all these dudes on fight night. I love Aljo. I totally believe that guy's going to be champion, man. Um, but that fight is crazy. Like, would I mean? What's even crazier is it's not the main event. That's what's bad. Like, me and Brad talked about this earlier. Like, this is probably pretty much a title eliminator. Like, the winner of that fight is probably going to get a title shot, and it's not 5 rounds. That's fucking stupid. Um, any of those fights down at those weights should be 5 rounds. Like, you're not gonna, you're not gonna know who the better fighter is down at those weights. I believe if it's not 5 rounds, because most of the time there's not going to be a finish in those fights most of the time. So you need 5 rounds. You need 5 rounds to really figure out who has the cardio, who can take the wars, who can go through all that. You want to have a title eliminator like that fight pretty much is. You have to have 5 rounds. Um, but in saying that, I think 3 rounds favors Aljo. Aljo's going to be a big guy in this weight class. He's always going to be the bigger guy. He cuts a ton of weight. He's muscular. He's a big dude. I think over 5 rounds is the question with Aljo, and I'd like to see it. I want to see him in 5 round fights. Um, but yeah, in a 3 round fight, I just don't see anybody down at 135 beating it Aljo in a 3 round fight. I just can't see it right now. Um, Great division though. The anything under 145 and under is just my favorite shit. Yeah, I love it. I know year after year after year for so many years now they just get shit on and shit on and shit on. Um, it's always the, oh well, they'll never beat a 200-pound guy. In a real fight they'll never be. The skill levels down there are so astronomically different and better. um and the skill level over time, like those guys are giving you the greatest of MMA for 15 and 25 solid minutes. Man, 205 and heavyweights and shit, you get slop fest of untalented fucks that can club each other and knock each other out. To me, that give me pure talent and skill and great fights like that over heavyweights just slobbing on each other any day of the week, all day of the fucking week. Ran over on that bullshit. Next fight, Roosevelt, man. Yeah, I had a little bit on Roosevelt in a parlay with who did I have Roosevelt with tonight? Who the fuck was that? Oh, with Rodriguez. I had him in a parlay with that, and I had him inside the distance. Uh, I believe my boy Brad and my other co-host on the analysis, Sean, had him by KO, and right before that finish, he went for the rear naked, and Brock got out of it, and then he like landed a couple solid fucking blows on him on Weaver, and like he could have finished right there. And we're screaming, man, like Brad's they think they got that shit cashed, and they should have. Weaver didn't want none after that. He rolled over, got choked out. Roosevelt Roberts is good. I think he's a really good fighter, man. His body type is perfect for MMA, man. Got the lean. Um, Landed some good stuff on Weaver. Like Weaver's terrible though. Like seriously, that guy talked himself into getting into the UFC off the Contender Series. That guy's not good, man. So grain of salt on the performance of Roberts tonight, but I'm a big Roberts fan, man. I think that guy's gonna be pretty good. We talked a little bit about our boy Billy Q. Yeah, Billy Q had me like worried, man. I think we all anybody that bet Billy Q tonight kind of knew you was gonna have to weather that early storm for sure. We knew Spike was gonna come out tough, but man, that storm lasted pretty much the whole fight, and I give it to Spike. I didn't think he had that in him. I knew it was going to be crazy to begin, but I didn't think he had that in him. And it was a good fight, man. That was a hell of a fun fight. There was a lot of them on the card tonight. But yeah, Billy Q comes through. That was my third big fave bet of the night. Nothing huge though. Like I said, they were all kind of close, but um, yeah, good fight, and I'm sure they bring Spike back. I guess uh, Billy Q. We'll see, man. Got a lot of work. I don't like a dude getting just. There were times in that fight where he had positions to where he could have got up, he could have reversed. Um, he didn't, man. There was a lot of bad stuff in that fight. We'll take the money though. Oh, our boy Sakai and Bullet Hole Chest Ivanov, our boy Blago. Yeah, man, I thought Sakai he did enough to win this fight, man. God damn, it was a bad, sloppy heavyweight fight. Like, who likes heavyweights anymore, man? That shit's so bad. I mean, I was talking to Brad. I mean, if the over 2.5 was like anywhere maybe around minus 200 or so, absolute banger. I'm talking about banger. That the over 2.5 in this fight hits 99.9% of the time. Every fucking time. Every time. It was just way so juiced I couldn't mess with it. But man, heavyweight's so bad, dude. People think I'm crazy when I say that like Greg Hardy is probably a top 5 or 6 heavyweight in the UFC. Hardy couldn't knock these guys out. He could, but he could. Like from what 3 or 4 to 25. It's a bunch of fucking sloppy fucks that could all knock each other out or slop it up like these two did. Just bad fighting, man. Brad is right though. Brad, I look, I got to give Brad every bit of that. That cage grab was as egregious as it gets, man. Like Herzog was looking right at that, and Saki had a handful of cage for seconds. I mean, seconds, dude. That's a point for me. Like it is. I bet Saki. That's a point for me. I'm taking a point. Um, I absolutely fucking hate cage grabs like that. Either it's a point or you lay that guy on his back. What happened was Blago got Saki to his knees even after that cage grab. So I think Herzog just was like, okay, he got him to his knees and let it go on. And Saki ended up getting up. That would have changed the fight for sure. Um, Even saying that the 30-27 Blago scorecard tonight, that's that was the worst scorecard of the entire night. That was fucking atrocious. That was bad. Saki won that second round like easily, like hands down. There's no debate that Saki won that second round. So yeah, that 30-27 was fucking bad, man. Let me check a couple of these. Yeah, that's even dumber. Like the even dumber thing that Aljo and Sandhagen isn't 5 rounds. It's not even the co-main. Like I- the matchmaking and just the placement of matches. Since like Joe Silva left that company is insane. You can tell that who the smart people were. Like straight up, once that company got sold, like people want to say Dana this and Dana that. The smart people at that company, they're gone. Like they're gone. They're not there anymore. The people that made that company go, that made that company great, the brains of that company are long gone. It's not Dana White. It's the opposite of Dana White. You don't want 5 rounds of I Cavallo, Brad? Seriously? Fucking stop being so negative, dude. Jesus. Yeah, I will give Spike, man, that BMR that his scrambling ability and just he did quite a few things well, man. He's gonna be a tough out that I don't think a lot of guys are gonna want to see. Like um, I just he's not good. He's not good. Um, when you're just considered tough and you're gonna scramble on guys and you're gonna last, it's not a good recipe for future health. That's for fucking sure. Tweeted tonight, my fave was Weston Brad's mate saying Woodley's a better rapper than fighter at this point. Yeah, I mean, he probably is. Like, that's pretty rough. That is pretty fucking rough, man. Not a lie, not a lie at all, but it's pretty rough. Augusto Caesar in society. That's pretty good. Look, we're watching that Saki fight, and like we're making fun of our boy Jeremy. Just Jeremy's just being all negative today, and we're like, man, we can see your negative facial expressions in Saki's belly right now, dude. Like fucking I don't know. It's some inside shit. You had to be there to appreciate it. I'm sure. 4 fight pay per view next week. Where's there's no man? Yeah. Well, can we tell what that when they're making I like I look Jessica I has pics of Dana White's dick, and it's like 3 inches or some shit. Like it's no fucking lie. There can be no other reasoning at this point that she's still around this company getting main event fights that she ain't got pictures of Dana's dick and it's fucking like 2.5 or some shit. There's just no other reasoning. I can't come up with it. What yeah, so since we got through some of that, that's pretty good card tonight, guys. It was good. Let's take a look at this next fucking shit card next week. We got odds for most of these fights yet. Give my first impressions on here if y'all want to. So they rode Evan Dunham out of a coffin, and they're gonna serve him up to Gilbert Burns' brother, who isn't great or anything, but this is a catchweight fight. Evan Dunham hasn't fought in who knows how fucking long. Ugh. Well, that starts the card off. Spike versus Elkins or Lauder. Just put Elkins against Lauder. Fuck Spike. Give me Elkins against Lauder all day. Cutting weight when you're weak to the body is not good, man. I know, dude. And I think my boy Dan Tom put all you need to know about that fight in one sentence. That's it. That's probably really all that needs to be said about that fight. Cutting weight when you're weak to the body is not good. Just end it right there. Make your bets accordingly. Yeah, 150 fight too. So we know Dunham. Like me and Brad was talking about earlier, and the first thing Brad said when I told him it was 150, he was like, "Dunham is not in shape." That's all you need to know. Um, Menningfield against Clark. Ooh, that's pretty that's pretty juicy fight right there, man. That's gonna be fun. Uh Menningfield a minus 225 fave at this point. Probably deserved, but I think that's a pretty interesting fight, man. Devin Clark always gives a good account of himself in fights, but definitely leading Menningfield. Dunham's last fight was Chernow. Yeah, yes, it was. It was against Grandpa, fucking absolutely destroying his body. My boy Dan Thomas is on point as usual, man. Um, like I said, that sentence is the main fucking point of that fight. The main point, and he's cutting weight and not even making it where he should be. So, let's see what else we gonna. Yeah, Juicy A against Alex Perez. Goddamn barn burner of a fight right there. That's really good. And like we talked earlier, Formiga is going to fight Alex Perez, um, and a 125 fight that's going to be action packed and fun, and it's buried on the prelims. Buried on the prelims. That fight buried on the prelims. Juicy Formiga, Alex Perez buried on the prelims. Great fight. I don't know who I lean in that fight. I will want to look at it a little more. Juicy's always a tough out. So of course, uh, Ant Martin, the dude who nicknamed himself Red Flag. Sometimes you go over my head, Steve. So, sometimes I don't. You go over my head, man. I don't know. Um, uh, so Charles Bird and Patolo. What is the line on that fight? Do they got lines on that? Bird's a minus 170 favorite. It's a good even fight, man. None of these I can really. I'm not. I don't have bets on any of these yet, except later Nunez. I got Nunez to close out a couple parlays, but nothing yet. Tony Martin, man. Oh, okay. Aunt Martin, I got you now. No, I refuse. I refuse to call that motherfucker Rocco. I will never, ever, ever call that dude Rocco. So yeah, yeah, he's talking about Tony Martin. That's that fucker's name too, Tony fucking Martin. Let's see. I fucking closed on my goddamn window. What was the next fight? Oh, Kelleher against Stamen. Man, that's another really good fight. Stamen fucking his last time out against Yadong just was it Yadong? Was Stamen last time out? Was it the Yadong fight? He got just absolutely robbed. Let me look so I don't fuck that up. Yeah. The big Yadong fight, which we all know how good Yadong is, but Stamen's legit. Um, I love Kelleher. I hit him at some nice dog money in his last fight, but I think Kelleher's in some problems against Cody Stamen, honestly. But that's a good fight. That fight should be action. Fuck you, Steve. Fuck you. I will never ever call him that. I will never call him that. Never. uh, Heinisch and my boy Muskrat. Look, man, I think Heinisch is of underachiever. I'm not a Heinisch fan, man. I never have been. I think I bet against him almost every single time. I'll be on Muskrat there. Um, that's probably going to be a shitty fight, though. What else we got? Um, Chase Hooper against Caceres. Chase Hooper's just so interesting, man. He really is. The guy looks like he's 12. He's got just insane length and shit for the division. Um, we know how flaky Caceres is, so yeah, probably leaning Hooper there, but we'll dive in a little more. Should be a pretty fun fight. I'm interested in Hooper. I want to see what that kid can be. Yeah, I probably agree, Brad. Like Caceres is he's a flake, man. I know Hooper's getting some hype, and that's usually not great that early in your career, but that kid seems to have it, man. Like he really does. Heinisch is the dude with the sounds like he's playing a kazoo when he talks. I just I can't add to that. I don't think I need to add to that one. Um, yeah, we got Sugar Shane back. Good to see that cat back, man. He really does have some star potential written on him. I think so. You can't have long layoffs and shit like he's had, but I mean, they're giving him a guy. They're giving him a guy to show out against. Like they want him to show out on Eddie Wineland. You can guarantee that. Now, Eddie Wineland is probably going to get showed out on. I just I have a really hard time betting just young guys like that. I mean, he's almost minus 450, man. It's hard to trust a young kid like that against a veteran. Like he should absolutely fuck up Eddie Wineland. Do not get me wrong, but it's hard to do anything with minus 450 or so against a vet like that. But Sugar Shane should show out. They want him to show out. They want that kid to be somewhat of a star. Absolutely. Then we got Neil Magny back. Sean, where you at, motherfucker? You got some rat shit. This fucking shit. That's some inside analysis shit, I guess. But most of y'all probably listen to that shit. But um, they're throwing the fucking Tony other name to not be named. That's a tough fight for Tony, and I'm probably gonna bet fucking Magny just because I don't fucking like Tony Martin. Maybe he loses, but I don't like Tony Martin. It's a tough fight. That's a coin flip fight. Could go either way, man. But yeah, we'll look at more of this fight. We talked a little about Aljo and Sandhagen. Um, that's a great fight, man. Like I love that division so much, and I hate that Cejudo. I don't think Cejudo's retired. One, me personally, that guy's absolutely going to come back and fight. He's going to come back and try to get some money and shit. But I, I want him to get paid. I want all fighters to get paid more. So I don't care. However, he tries to get paid more, but Cejudo will be back. I think so. Well, we'll go off into a whole nother thing, but I think Cejudo has problems with the real guys at 135. Now, he beat my boy Moraes, which I think that's impressive. That put Cejudo on a whole nother level for me. Props to that. Uh, but we know Moraes has his flaws. Just his gas tank and everything else. Jan, Aljo, Sandhagen, those guys give Henry Cejudo some major problem. Aljo beats him tomorrow. Period. I would lay a large amount on Aljo against Henry Cejudo. A large fucking amount. But he's retired for now, so Cejudo Sandhagen is just absolutely ridiculous. And if you can't get hyped up for that fight and think the little guys are, you're a fucking moron. Um, then yeah, we get fucking Cody back, man. It's been a little bit for Gallbrandt. Gallbrandt has like just amazing skills, man. He's got the brain of a fucking urinal cake. Everyday brain, fight brain, all the same. Urinal cake. Pissed all over. It's deteriorated. He's fucking done, man. Watch his fights. Just watch his fights. Um, his performance against Dominic Cruz is still one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in a fight. It is. Outside of that guy's a fucking moron, man. Uh, I think he's in some trouble, man. A Sunsal's not going to be no pushover, dude. That's going to be a tough comeback fight for Cody. A really tough comeback fight, I think. Slight dog money on a Sunsal right now. Yeah, that's probably where I'm going to be. And we know what's going to happen in the Nunez fight. She's going to kill Spencer. There's no challenges for her at the moment, but that's an overall good card, man. I mean, I got more bitching about the placement of some fights than I do the actual overall card. I think that's going to be pretty good. Uh, Cejudo's head belongs on Blanco's body. Could you imagine? Yeah, man. That was this week's card. You're betting Spencer by decision. Shut up, Brad. Shut the fuck up, dog. You're like 12 crafts deep tonight, you motherfucker. Garbrandt spends all day plucking his eyebrows. I can't I can't do much with that, man. This chat usually gets pretty good. I'm glad you fuckers come in here and join me. We've been doing some zooming between us on the show during the fight, so that's been itching the itch of me doing my rants and shit. But it's always fucking great to come in here and go off a little bit without being disturbed and interrupted. But yeah, y'all check out the show, man. We're doing shows fairly regularly now. We got the crew back, man. I'm really fucking happy. My boy Brad's back. One of the funnier guys I talk to, man. Me that's my dude, man. One of these days, me and Brad is gonna sit down and write his fighter nickname book, and it's gonna be like 78 chapters and over 10,000 nicknames. And y'all all better buy it. All fucking seven of you. You better buy a copy. Uh, no, nobody has the better nicknames than my dude Brad. Uh, but yeah, it's always fun, guys. We will we'll be back next week. I think we got a show probably lined up for Tuesday or Wednesday, so please check that out with my boy Dan Tom in here. Man, I'm sure most of y'all follow my boy Dan Tom from Junkie. Follow that guy. I don't. I think I can break down fights myself in my own head and make my own bets and stuff. But I've always had a problem with the expressing them out on paper and stuff. My boy Dan Tom is great at that. There's nobody else that me personally that I follow and read and look at like my dude Dan Tom, man. That's my absolute man right there. Think he's one of the best fight breakdown guys in the entire business. So follow Dan Tom, man. Follow his work. My boy Steve, man. Post your Twitter handle in here. Follow my dude Steve, man. That guy is one of the funniest, most intelligent dudes that I follow on here. He's British, but he's still a good guy. He's endured American living for a long time now, so you gotta respect the cat. And yeah, it's always fun, guys. To bullshit with y'all. We'll talk on Twitter, and absolutely, we'll see you boys in the middle of the week for the analysis. Free, might I add you? Let me get a PS in here. The touts are out here selling parlays on the shitty Shevchenko. Stop fucking paying touts. There's so many good MMA bettors out there that do it for free, that enjoy to break down fights and put their plays out for nothing. And they're very, very good at it. Um, I say over and over, uh, my boy Sean Alpine PD on fucking Twitter, that's on the MMA analysis. I mean, consistent, great fight pick, breaks him down great. Post his picks, man. He's a fucking winner. No bullshit, no charge. We don't make money. We do this shit because we like fucking bullshitting with everybody and making money. Um, my boy Addy G, y'all might not know him, but he's got a saying: if you're good enough, there's no reason to go tout. There's none. Those guys aren't good. They don't win money at betting. They win money at selling their packages. They sell their packages because they don't win money at betting. The greatest tout he likes to claim is down 11 units since last April. Keep buying those picks, guys, or listen to the MMA analysis. There you go, man. My boy Steve, follow him, man. Follow Dan Tom. Love you, brother. Cheers, guys. We'll see y'all next week, man. Cheers. Cheers, boys.